This is the last video of this little series I'm going to do of the differences of the Yorknew arc. Just to reiterate again, most of the 2011 version is a lot faster paced than the 1999 version, and I'll include links to the first two versions of this video, but you can just watch this one if you want and go back to watch the other ones if you want. So episode 57 of 1999 and episode 48 of 2011 for the comparison. The 1999 version skips Leorio's haggling of the Ben's knife, which is in the manga at chapter 85. I'll just note, as this is a manga difference, not really an anime difference, but it was skipped in the 2011 version as well. The 2011 version speeds up the opening of the wooden Buddha with treasure inside. In the manga and 1999 versions, Zepal interprets what the meaning is selling these items with Gon and Killua. The three go back together to talk about appraising, and then they open up the Buddha with the treasure inside it. In the 2011 version, it speeds this up completely, opening the treasure in front of the store seller who was trying to trick Gon and Killua. I did like how the 2011 version changed the scene. It was funny to see the seller so disappointed that Zepal stopped him from scamming Gon and Killua. The 2011 version skips Gon, Killua and Zepal taking the items to the auction house and the dissenting bold appraiser. Instead, 2011 skips right to the end of Zepal explaining the sidestepping or ostomy appraisal technique, where an item appears to be genuine and sealed, but in actuality a hole has been made on the side, taking out the treasure and replacing with a fake good. The 1999 version and the manga at chapters 87 and 88 explain the bold appraiser trying to lower the value of the items at the auction that Killua and Gon are trying to sell for a high price. This appraiser tries to explain that there's nothing to prove of these items. Episode 58 of the 1999 version to episode 49 of the 2011 version. The 1999 version adds this scene of Kurapika returning to the bodyguards. Kurapika's covered in blood, and it just sets this really depressive tone for the bodyguards, imagining what happened to Kurapika, what he had to endure. Kurapika lies down in an empty room exhausted. It's a great scene showing us the effects of the fight he had, physically and mentally, of course. The 2011 version adds a scene of Shalnak using his acquired hunter license to obtain information on the chain user and the bodyguards of the Nostrado family. Crollo also tells Shal to take care of finding the chain user. Then Crollo informs the troop to bring the chain user back, dead or alive, to the hideout. In the 1999 version, a scene's added where Nobunaga and Machi do a coin toss. Nobunaga wants heads to kill the chain user, and Machi wants tails, interpreting Crollo's message to wanting to bring the chain user back to recruit him as an ally. This scene's in the manga at chapter 89. Episode 59 of the 1999 version to episode 49 and 50 of the 2011 versions. Just as Nobunaga is arm wrestling Gon in these episodes, the manga at the end of chapter 84 includes a rankings list of the troop in arm wrestling. Uvo's number 1, Machi's higher than Crollo, 6 and 7 respectively, which is kind of cool to see. And as we saw, Nobunaga beat Gon pretty easily in arm wrestling, but Nobunaga is ranked 9 and Shizuku is ranked 12 for comparison, so we can say Gon is a little bit stronger than the 12th physically at this stage in the series. And yeah, an actual ranking just shows the physicality difference of the troop members in stats and on a scale, which is cool to see. In the 2011 version, after the troop leave Nobunaga to watch the boys, Franklin describes Uvo and Nobunaga's relationship as sparring partners. He says they were the strongest together when fighting a horde of enemies, and that even though Uvo wouldn't admit it, he preferred having someone to protect. This is different from the manga and the 1999 version, as this is told by Franklin to Shizuku after they all split up into pairs. Franklin then observes that Gon is very similar to Uvo. In the 1999 version, after all the troop leave Nobunaga to watch the boys, the other members discuss the possibilities as to why the Mafia have not come after them again. The 1999 version adds this inner dialogue from Killua while Nobunaga is watching them, reflecting on him, trying to stop the troop from hurting Gon, while Hisoka stopped him threatening his life. Killua has these negative inner thoughts to never fight another opponent if you can't win, because that's how he's been trained, but he's trying to fight back against these thoughts and emotions. But as we find out later at the end of the series, this was really Illumi that put these thoughts into Killua's head, his needle ability, when the hunter exam was on. After Killua and Illumi had their confrontation. The 2011 version has these inner thoughts of Killua coming from Illumi, and we know why that makes sense, why they did it that way, because they had the information from the manga in 2010 when they started adaptating this and when it did get aired in 2011. Episode 60 of 1999 covers episodes 50 and 51 of 2011. This is subjective, but as Gon and Killua escape from Nobunaga, running back to the centre of Yorknew, the surrounding environment in the 1999 version is a lot more aesthetically pleasant, I reckon. The angles, how they jump over the walls, looks cooler, leaving the deserted rundown end of Yorknew where the hideout is. Then going into the sewers, which looks around like at chapter 94 of the manga, is what 1999 took the inspiration from this panel to expand on this, and then to the park of Yorknew, before returning to the civilized centre of the city. This just made the escape a bit more exciting and climactic in a way when they escaped, as just the added detail was there, and also the effects of the noises, the water in the sewage, the boys climbing up the stairs, over fences, the sirens of the bad atmosphere happening in Yorknew somewhere around the city. It's very good, I like it. And just the transition from the abandoned part to the centre, the civilised part of the city, is very well done. And the 2011 version is just a lot more basic. They just jump over the wall from the abandoned park of Yorknew and they're right back in the civilised section. The 1999 version skips the scene of Neon shopping with Basho and Melody and escaping, wanting to go to the auction. We find out soon after that Corolla is tailing her, which is in chapter 94 of the manga and 2011. There's a funny panel of Maluki looking for food, probably on his way to the underground auction on a subway line, which is left out in both versions. Togashi did this throughout the arc, just including panels of Maluki before he was introduced again when the final auction took place at the end of the arc. In the 2011 version, when Light Nostrada calls the security guard, Shalnak is controlling him with his ability. In the manga at chapter 95 and 1999 version, the guard just let her go. But we do find out later in the manga at chapter 98 and the 1999 version that Shalnak is controlling them. Episode 61 of 1999 covers episodes 51 and 52 of the 2011 in comparison. This is subjective, but when the troop members make their attack on the Mafia, even though both versions are the same with the dark tone, the music differs. 1999 uses a more upbeat orchestral brass leads, whereas 2011 uses more of a dark, depressive orchestral leads. I just love this track from 2011. The music just portrays just that the troop members have no consciousness whatsoever. They'll kill whenever. They don't feel anything with how many people were killed during this part of this arc. And yeah, I guess the 1999 version does this as well. I just think that 2011 version did it better with the music composition. The 2011 version with Corollo's Requiem is just amazing when he kills that guy in the fish tank. 1999 adds a scene of Gon trying to ring Kurapika with no answer, as Killua and Gon were observing the gunshots in the distance. 1999 also adds a scene of Kurapika ringing Melody and Basho. Both of them tell Kurapika that a vacuum girl and a machine gun man started this, and Kurapika tells them what to do. 2011 adds more scenes of the security surveillance team and Light Nostrado and Kurapika in Neon's room, wondering where Melody and Basho are. And the 1999 version adds a conversation with Gon and Leorio via telephone, talking about the spiders attacking and that they're going to meet up soon. Next, the 2011 version adds a scene of Corollo swiftly defeating one of the assassins, and also adds a scene of Kurapika checking the ambulance and Mafia before they take Neon. Then the Mafia member nonchalantly tells Kurapika that the Mafia paid him to take out the troop. Light Nostrada then tells the member that Kurapika's looking after the safety of Neon. Kurapika agrees that he needs to do something, so he patrols the bottom floor and agrees with Light to come back immediately if he calls. 2011 also adds a scene of Gon and Killua not getting any reception on the train, so they decide to run to the action. At this stage, the auction is still in wait limbo at the moment, with many people getting frustrated. Throughout this episode of 2011, scenes are added of Kurapika climbing up the stairs back to Light and Neon. The 2011 version leaves out Zeno at the top of the building using his N, which is a 300-meter radius, to find Corollo eventually. Episode 62 of 1999 covers episodes 52 and 53 of 2011. 2011 version of the start of episode 53 just has been content of all the auctioneers in the hall before the auction starts, with some of them even looking over their fortunes. 2011 adds a scene of all the bodyguards and Light Nostrada in the hospital room with Neon before all the bidding of the Scarlet Eyes takes place. 1999 adds a scene of Gon, Killua, Leorio looking for Kurapika at the hospital, and even a transition of Hisoka playing with the phone with dark synths and orchestrals playing in the background trying to ring Kurapika. 1999 adds this melodic scene of Kurapika leaving the hospital after giving the Scarlet Eyes, but the copied one, but not known to the Nostrada family. He looks extremely upset, and Basho and Melody look worried. He just goes to sit by himself at the top of a building roof, and he reminisces about what Gon and Killua said, that they saw and met the Phantom Troop. He remembered what they said, that one of the troop, Nobunaga, cried in front of Gon and Killua about the death of their friend Uvo. Kurapika seems very depressed and empty inside. At least he gets some inner peace, saying, "We don't have to anymore, Gon." But unbeknownst to Kurapika, the troop are still alive and ticking. It's a great scene that's added that fleshes out the emotion that Kurapika's faced in this arc and what he's had to experience fighting the troop members and the toll of what happened to his clan and seeking revenge and feeling empty inside. But it transitions as the scene ends nicely, that Kurapika gets a message from Gon saying that they'll be meeting for him at a park, and the music changes to uplifting, happy piano melodies as the sky view of the whole of Yorknew and the bridges change from a dark setting with clouds to sunlight with birds humming in the background. The 1999 version then goes to Kurapika walking by the docks to the park, meeting up with Gon, Leorio, and Killua. It's a nice scene of ending the series for the 1999 version before the OVAs in a somewhat resolved manner, having ice cream, thinking that the troop's gone, reminiscing and enjoying each other's company, but unbeknownst to them that the troop have not been killed, obviously. And as we know, the next part is covered in the OVAs that were released from 2002 to 2004. The compilation scene at the end of the 1999 version is great, extending the song from the opening with everything that happened in the story so far, reminiscing as a flashback. And it ends with Hisoka texting Kurapika that the bodies were fake. Thanks for watching if you got through to the end. This last part, it's been in my back of the mind wanting to do it, but I haven't had a chance, and I've slowly been working on it while doing some other tasks. But I'm trying to find the OVAs of the VHS tapes of Hunter x Hunter OVAs after the 999 version, because I just want to have something physical of that. And yeah, so thanks for watching. If you want to add me on my anime list, there'll be a link in the description and my Twitter as well. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Thanks very much. Have an awesome day. See ya.